Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Mint City Soccer Show Live. We are here in Salud in Noda in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm one of your hosts, David Gusler, and I'm here with my good buddy Matt Swift. Matt, how are you?
Hello, David. How's it going? We are back to our roots. We used to do shows here all the time, so it is good to be back here and supporting Salud. We have the MCC watch party going on tonight. Very excited to be back, David.
Feels good. It's only been like 3 weeks since I've done a show with you guys. Corey, who is, the Wizard of Oz right now, that's behind the scenes. There we go. Has been filling in wonderfully for me this past few weeks. But I'm glad to be back, and of course, we're doing it here at a watch party, so it's even better that way. But ready to talk about some soccer? Ready to talk about the matchup for Charlotte FC tonight?
Let's do it. I think I definitely want to talk about the starting 11 because I'm hearing some rumblings, some fun rumblings. So let's get into it.
Awesome. So for those who aren't aware and living under a rock that's watching or listening to this show, Charlotte FC takes on the New England Revolution tonight at 7:30 in New England. So first, Matt, how do you think that the weather is going to play a part into this game? Because for those who aren't aware, in the spring here in the South, it's like 80 degrees today. New England's a different story, right?
Yeah, it's going to be cold, rainy. That's okay. We may have to play the ball more on the ground this game instead of launching balls forward, but I kind of want that anyway. So we'll see the game plan that Dean Smith puts into place.
Yeah, I know Donnie was here, friend of the show, and he's over there getting Corey a beer right now. Mentioned, I think it's supposed to be like 35 degrees at kickoff. Meanwhile, it's like 60 to 70 degrees here in North Carolina, which is a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, the weather could play a factor. New England's used to playing in that weather, but we got professionals, so I think we'll be all right.
They played in Canada for like a month straight, so I think they'll be all right.
That's very true. Very true.
Awesome. Well, so let's talk about matchup. Let's talk about the lineup predictions. I know you said you have some tinglings, some rumblings about what you think this lineup's going to be. So let's talk about it for the viewers that are online and for those who are listening right now. How do you think Charlotte FC's going to come out with their starting 11 tonight against New England?
Yeah, I mean we got 30 minutes before the official lineup comes out, but I'm hearing that we're going to have Big Patrick up top. That's something that I talked about in our match preview Thursday. Or I think we came out without Friday, actually. But yeah, Patrick up top. And then I'm hearing that our new signing actually might start today.
So for those who don't know, who is that new signing, Swift?
Lil Abala. So excited to see what he can do. There was some talk about, how much minutes he would get. I was under the assumption that he would, probably play the second half, but it looks like he might actually start. Of course, that could change. We'll see. And like I said, in like 30 minutes, but that's exciting. I don't know if he'll go the full 90 minutes. I don't think he's quite 90 minutes fit, but might be a good first 45 minutes. Like I said in the match preview, I want to see us jump out early. So that might be part of this game plan. Get him on the field first half, let him run it, folks, get a lead, and then maybe manage his minutes in the second half.
Well, that's got to be mind games by Dean Smith, right? When it came to practices earlier this week, I know they had a closed door, I think, scrimmage against NCFC, right? And he said he had 45 minutes and like straight in that game, or no, 90 minutes. I can't remember what he said, but that had to be mind games for Dean Smith to go in against potentially New England to say, hey, our new DP, new player signing, he may not play a full 90, or he may not even start. But now you're looking at it that he could potentially be starting tonight.
It could be mind games. It could be a factor of you just see how the player's going to train during the week. And then like Thursday and Friday, you really make your determination of kind of where they are. They had that closed door scrimmage. He played 45 minutes. So I'm sure Dean was like, hey, maybe he's thinking kind of like I was like, hey, New England's susceptible to like, early goals, the goals that New England have scored have not come to the second half. So maybe just trying to get on them early. So start with Abada first. Like I said, get to halftime. Hopefully you have a lead, and then, maybe run him out for another 10 minutes, second half, and then pull him and put somebody else in.
So looking again at that one, do you expect any other changes? Because I know on the injury report that came out today that Nathan Byrne was potentially doubtful, or maybe may miss some minutes, or may not even play. What are you hearing from a back line perspective for Charlotte FC?
Yeah, I'm sure Jalen Lindsey will slide in. Yeah, it's just a natural right back. Dean's been high on Jalen. He's been talking about how patient he's been. We all know his quality. I'm a big fan of Jalen Lindsey, so it's good that he's going to get an opportunity this game.
I'm sure all the local folks will be super excited that Jalen Lindsey is finally playing a damn game. Excuse my language, right?
That's right.
So
That's right.
and then obviously Jalen Lindsey's got his fans already here with that space.
Yeah,
So
apparently there's some Jalen Lindsey fans here, so that's good. So he's gonna get his opportunity, and that's why we have depth on this team, right? When someone goes down, we have somebody of equal quality or even better to come in and take their place. So it's all good stuff.
So from a midfield perspective, what are you expecting? Do you expect to see the same lineup from the midfield? Do you see Diani? Do you see Westwood? Do you see Breck starting in this game?
Yeah, I think you see all of them. I think you see, and there may be some shuffling here, but I think you'll see Vargas on the left, Brecht in the middle, and then Abada on the right starting out. And then you have Diani, Westwood, and then the back line, which we just talked about.
So no Tavares that's starting at left wing?
That's not what I'm hearing, but, like I said, anything could change. There's, you got all day today and leading up to the game. You never know what can happen, but that's what I'm hearing.
I mean, we still do technically have 20 minutes or so before the lineup gets announced. So anything can happen. They could get snowed in, right? No, I'm just joking.
They could get snowed in.
Awesome. So now looking at that starting 11, what does Charlotte FC have to do to be able to have a successful matchup against New England? And how do you think they're going to start out with this game against Charlotte?
Got to come out fast, press hard, get them on their back foot early. New England like to possess the ball. I mentioned in the match preview that they have a lot of possession, but they really don't do anything with it. Their expected goals is very low. So again, come out early, press them, try to get up early, and then just defend well. And you got to defend their best player, Carlos Hill, and neutralize him. And I think we'll have a good day.
So talking about this matchup, it does seem like on paper the perfect matchup for Charlotte FC to get 3 points on the road, right? If you're looking here, like New England is ranked 27th right now in goals scored, less than 0.8 goals per game. They haven't won a match in the last 5 attempts. And if you look at who they've played recently, I mean, at least within MLS, they've had a draw, a loss, and a draw. So, and a loss from that. So they kind of are on a cold streak, right? So what do you think we match up pretty well against this team?
I think so. I kind of view this a lot like our game against Vancouver. Again, New England likes to possess the ball. So if we come out pretty hungry and catch them kind of off guard, I think it's going to greatly benefit us. If we play really good defensively, New England doesn't really have a lot going forward. I think they've only scored 4 goals on the season. 3 of those, like I said, came in the second half. So it's important for us to come out quick on the front foot and hopefully get a couple of goals in the first half.
So we didn't do soccer and coffee this morning, which we usually do. We're kind of doing soccer and beer, soccer and cerveza here in Salud. So we got some questions here in chat. I'd love for you guys, if you guys continue watching online, to drop some questions for us, and we'll be able to ask those. Corey's got his microphone ready to go to fill in as needed. But we also have some people here in the audience that's going to ask some questions here too in just a second. But I have to say, they're already starting the Ashley Westwood chant in the chat there.
I like it.
So are you a big fan of that chant?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
So I know we got a friend of the show, Donnie, that's coming up over here in just a second. He's been ready to go. Fat Bird.
Come on.
Kerwin Vargas' left foot, as he has also been called. So right foot. Sorry. But no, I know he's going to be coming up here in just a second. But Ashley Westwood chants are already popping up on there. How do you feel Ashley's going to play against this game, since we're talking about Ashley Westwood? He's been playing pretty well, had a wonderful goal against Columbus. So what do you think he's going to do against this game against New England?
Well, I think he's going to be crucial. Him and Gianni are going to be so important in this game, because not only do you have to contain Carlos Hill as he comes forward, they have to help jumpstart the offense and use the middle of the field and play balls through the channel. So I think Westwood's going to be absolutely crucial this game, much like he is every game. But I want to see some of those balls not necessarily launched over the top, but play on the ground through the channels, and I think we'll be good.
So one more question for you before we bring Donnie up here. So talking about that midfield again, we know what Diani's going to bring a little bit, has been playing pretty well for Charlotte. How about Brecht, for example? So he's been shifting from a wing to a cam, back and forth a little bit, has started, not started. Where do you expect to see from him tonight? And is it too early to say, start putting pressure on him being our cam in this game, in this lineup?
Well, I think you just said it. He's being asked a lot this season. And so when you're asking the number 10 to do a lot and you're shifting him around, it's hard to get into a groove, but it's someone that we pay a lot of money for, and he's got to start producing, and he's missed some really key chances. So it's up to him to kind of take the bull by the horns and really get in it and make something happen this game and start creating for us.
Yeah, and I know he has a goal and assist for us already, right? Which early in the season was on good pace, but it's going to be interesting to see how he fits into the, picture with Abada, with Vargas, with Pat up top, or even Enzo. And I'm going to get to Enzo here in just a second, since you said Big Pat is going to be the one that's starting up top here for us. But so yeah, let's bring on Fatbird here for a second. So we're gonna bring up our first celebrity here for the show. Right. So welcome to the show, Donnie, aka Fatbird, aka Curran Vargas' right foot.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome to the show.
Good to officially be on the show with you.
That's right. Yeah, you were on the show before, but never with David.
He's my replacement, right? Because I've been gone for like 3 weeks. I know Corey's been filling
Corey's
in.
the replacement. Corey's been doing fantastic. Can we all get a hand for Corey?
Yeah, give Corey a little hand.
Corey's done the last couple weeks.
One person. That's all good.
So Donnie, let me ask you about the game tonight. What are your initial thoughts, and how do you think we'll match up against New England?
So every time I say there's no reason we're going to lose this game, something bad happens. So I'm not going to say that. I'm cautiously optimistic. I feel like there's no reason why we shouldn't jump out on this team, like you had mentioned earlier. Just feel like this is a great opportunity to get 3 on the road. And so if we can do that, it puts us right there in the table where we need to be. And the momentum, I think the biggest thing, and we've talked about this before, monumentally difficult first 6 games of the season. To average over a point a game in those first 6 games, we're starting to get healthy. We're starting to get players here and ready to go. We go on a little run here. Look out.
Yeah, we're also going to get some reinforcements too. I still think we signed somebody in this April window, and then look towards the summer to swing for the fences and get a DP. So it's all positive stuff. Let me ask you this, Donnie. Since we got you now, who's like one player for you that's been a surprise this year? Who have you been like really high on?
I think Diani comes in. I mean, I think that's the obvious answer, right? I mean, I didn't even know who he was, a month and a half ago, right? I don't know that many people of us did, right? And he's come in fantastic. He plays that through ball that we need coming through the middle, as opposed to just going out wide and trying to swing crosses.
Well, what's crazy is that no one knew who he was really before he signed, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna be like Derek Jones. He's gonna play center back for us, or play a center defensive mid."
Yeah.
And here he is playing like that pivot and playing that 8 for us, and coming in and creating and being very technical. And that's been the biggest surprise for me to see Diani be able to do.
Well, and not only that, like, it lets Ashley push forward, right? And I think that's just giving him another dimension that he's very capable at. And so, I think we see that with his banger from 2 weeks ago, right? It doesn't happen if he's having to play back like he has in the past. So, I think Diani is probably the obvious choice as to really the surprise so far this season, and it's a pleasant one for sure.
All right, Donnie, what is your score prediction for tonight?
So you said 3-0, right? 3-0 earlier in the week.
You're gonna put money on that, Swift?
I did put money on that.
He's put money on it. I'm not. If he's put money on it, I'm sitting. It's not going to.
You're not going to do what Swift does.
It's not going to happen.
We don't condone Swift's bets yet, so it's fine.
So what I'd like to see, I'd love to see us get 3. I feel like 2-1 would be a definite chance. What I really want to see though is, I want to see Kerwin score, because I feel like he's a streaky scorer. I think
everybody wants to see Kerwin score.
But I mean, honestly, right? I think this guy's very streaky. Like, I think about, we got the NCAA tournament on, right? We talk about like 3-point shooters. They're real streaky shooters. I feel like if he puts one in the back of the net, he can go on a run, and he's done it before. And so I think he's in a little bit of a cold stretch right now. Needs to get some of that confidence back. So if he could see one in the back of the net, forget about it.
I won't say who it was, but the last game that I was at, someone put money that Curran Vargas would get 1 shot on goal, and was just pulling his hair out at the last few minutes of the game, because he's like, how is it that Curran Vargas cannot get a shot on goal? So he's hitting a cold streak right now, and I think he, just from a confidence perspective, truly does need a good goal.
I think he missed that last game, the goal in the last game, because he was already thinking about the backflip celebration, and he was too far over that he was like, how am I going to score this and make the flip happen before I'm going to hit the corner flag? So just get out of your own head, buddy. Put it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So Kerwin, if you're watching this, just get out of your own head, buddy. That's keywords from Fat Bird.
What I like about Vargas though is he gets in good positions, right? He just has to finish them off, and that's the thing. We talked about that on the podcast. Like, you know, if I'm a coach or I'm Westwood, I'm like, hey man, keep doing what you're doing, keep getting in these spots, but you know, let's work on our finishing, and he'll be all right. So
shoot or shoot, right?
Yeah, that's right. Donnie, thank you so
right,
much.
Guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it,
buddy.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, buddy. So a couple comments that we're seeing here in the chat here, Swift, is for one, we have a new sponsor. It's Peacock behind us. We've got DirecTV and Peacock being advertised. So no, I'm just joking. They are not an official sponsor yet to the show.
Yeah.
But a few other things here. Mint City Matthews says play Jalen Lindsay every damn game. So even though Nathan Burns been playing very well,
yeah,
people are saying play Jalen forever. I won't say who, but people.
He's going to get an opportunity tonight to make a claim for that spot. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah, I mean he's historically played pretty well for us, and just that Nathan Burns been playing lights out since last summer. So can't complain about that. But a few other comments here. So Abram says Leo Bada scores tonight, baby. So it'll be a great prediction. It'll be amazing if we can see our new DP put us on the score sheet early on, right?
Yeah, I would really love that for him to score early. Like I said, get up, and then at halftime have the coach kind of, you know, assess his minutes and see where we are. But hopefully we can dominate this first half. New England just lost 4-0 their last game in CONCACAF Champions Cup. So like I was saying Thursday, like if we can score early, I think that will just kill their spirit. So.
Well, and I think killing their spirit, right? You're talking about, you know, potential predictions, betting on the game, etc. Earlier in the week, there was a little bit of a controversy or drama between New England's coach putting on a radio interview, I guess it was an official team interview. And at the very end, he says, we're going to have a win tonight. I guarantee it. Put that down, right?
Yeah, he tried to walk that back, but no, he put it out. He said it was a throwaway.
It was a throwaway comment.
Like, I don't know about all that. So it's good fodder. And if I'm Dean Smith, I'm definitely going to remind my team that he said that. So thanks, Caleb Porter. And we appreciate that soundbite.
Well, Caleb Porter's already gotten in trouble once, I think, for putting his house on the line in Columbus, right? With betting his house, saying that I guarantee a win, or I'm going to sell my house, or something like that, right? And now he's saying for the last place team in the East is going to be a guaranteed win against Charlotte FC.
Yeah, Caleb likes to talk quite a bit, but the players are the one that's going to have to do the talking on the field, and I think we have a good shot tonight to shut them all up.
Exactly. So again, just as a reminder, if you guys want to ask a question, come on up here. There's a huge line forming of questions. So if you like to come up here and ask, just let us know. But we also have some comments and questions in here too. So I mean, I know you said Jalen Lindsay is going to be able to be a good starter, but how much is Nathan Byrne being out going to hurt Charlotte this game?
I think the only thing is like continuity. You know, you're used to having someone on the right side that plays a certain way. Now with Jalen coming in, it could disrupt that some, but I mean, they train every day together, and it's not like Jalen's new to the team. So I think we'll be okay. And honestly, you know, Jalen's really good about serving balls into the box, and so we might need that tonight. So looking forward to it.
Well, and you mentioned continuity, right? One thing we did not have earlier in the season last year was continuity in that back line. We had, you know, Brant Bronico playing left back. We had Bill playing center back. It was all over the place, right? You had Jalen Lindsay playing like right back, Nathan playing left back, etc. But the past month, 6 games, we've had the same back line, and they've played pretty damn well for a team that was predicted to not be very good defensively. So it'll be interesting to see with Nathan being out. I know Jalen's got a lot of fans, how much of an impact that's going to be for Charlotte.
Well, I think if Jalen can play soundly defensively and just watch himself as he's coming forward and committing to not overcommit, watch him behind him, don't get too out of place, and just communicate well with the back line. That's where, you know, and this year's a little bit different. We're not asking Malanda or Privet to do anything extra. They're more kind of staying at home anyway, so they could see kind of Jalen going up the field, and they can manage that a little better. but it is up to Jalen to watch him behind him, not get too out of shape as he's kind of bombing forward, putting crosses in.
So going back to the starting lineup and just predictions and continuity, Pat's going to be starting up top, you think, again, right? And I know we're still waiting about 7 minutes until they get the official lineup get posted. Why do you think Dean is continuing to do that if Enzo's healthy? And are you going to see Pat continue to start, or do you expect to see Enzo fill in and take that starting role back as a designated player for us?
Yeah, that's a tough one for me because it's always difficult to not start your DP. But I think Patrick has done an excellent job this season of disrupting that back line. He brings that physicality when he has the ball at his feet, or if it's played in the space, he's able to muscle folks off. And not that Enzo can't do that, but I just think Patrick kind of gives you something different. You may see that flip back, later on. Still, Enzo has come off an injury, still working his way back in. He made a second half substitute appearance last game. So I think it's more just like managing Enzo, making sure he's fully fit. Everything's fine. So Patrick will go this game. We'll see how he does. But that's a good competition to look out for. And I'm glad that there's someone that can at least push Enzo.
So, I mean, you may have answered this on the podcast earlier in this week as well. But for those who haven't listened, do you still have the same expectations that you have for Pat as you would if Enzo was starting and vice versa? Because, I mean, for me, Pat's created some pretty good chances. He scored 1 goal so far for us. He's also had some missed opportunities where he's, skimmed the ball or missed it or, didn't adjust well for a header, right? Do you have the same expectations for Pat, or is Pat not getting as much criticism because he's not that designated player like Enzo?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I think people are very critical of Enzo. I know I have been in the past, but also too, if you're going to be critical of him, you got to be critical of other players missing opportunities. But Enzo does have that DP tag, and so with that comes a lot of extra responsibility. I think there's some residual animosity maybe from last season. People didn't like that he was flopping a little bit and kind of the attitude situation. But I think this year, again, need to show a little bit of grace and let Enzo get back into things and prove himself. So hopefully that will come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that Enzo makes great runs off the ball really well, creates chances. He just got to finish those, right? But Pat's also created some really good chances for us as well.
That's the thing. Like, everybody's been missing chances. It's not just Enzo Capetti. So there's lots of finger pointing that could be going around. So again, like, if this team starts finishing, MLS is in deep trouble.
I mean, I think we're leading or in the top 3 or 4 teams when it comes to expected goals this season so far in the entire league. I think you mentioned on the show, in the pregame show, if Charlotte can actually start to finish some of those chances, they are a very dangerous team. I know they're sitting at 9th right now or 8th, depending on how the games play out today. But for a team that's leading in expected goals, they could really be top 3, top 4 in the league if they would be able to finish some of these chances, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, we're 4 points out of first, right? And we could have very easily, beat Nashville. We could have got a point some of these other matches. So I like that we're creating chances. We're dangerous. It's just a matter of finishing these off, and we'll be all good.
Awesome. So looking over the crowd, it's starting to get pretty lively in here, Swift. So I'm sure the producer over here, Corey, is probably wanting to pull his hair out just with the background noise. No, we're good. So that's awesome.
So back in the day, if you've been listening to the show for a while, we used to do shows here, and the background noise was just so unbelievably insane. We did one episode where we were sitting at a table and there was a Magic the Gathering tournament going on right beside of us. And we're just sitting there going like, are you serious?
I think the interview where we interviewed Nick Kelly, there was a date next to the table to us, and there was a very, very loud individual during that date. And so it was a good memory, but it was also not great for a podcast environment back then.
Yeah, lots of background noise, but it is fun to be back, but it is definitely getting loud in here for sure.
Well, the good news is, and I just want to kind of filibuster here for a second, but obviously the folks here at Salud have been gracious enough to let us host and have this watch party. But for those who don't know, they have Del Patio Lagers for $4 tonight. So I know Swift and Corey have been indulging in that already.
They are very good.
pretty well ahead of time. There we go. Cheers, boys. And then they're going to have a little special menu tonight for the game day. So they're going to have Detroit style pizza. So I don't know if you've ever had the Detroit style pizza here before, but it is delicious. So
yeah, I'm excited to try it. And thanks for Jason and Salud for having us tonight, and everybody coming out and having this watch party. It's going to be a fun night.
Awesome. Well, we just had a special guest just show up here, and he's already making his way to the stage. He's going to be a very important to do it. So what's up, Lee? So this is Lee from Charlotte CLTFC Fan TV, our local British correspondent.
We're live.
We are live.
Where's
so
the camera? I got to look good for it.
It's right there, buddy. Well, welcome to the show, Lee. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. The only reason I came here tonight was to be on the show.
Good. We're glad you're here.
So how do you feel that Charlotte's in the matchup? We asked Fatbird earlier, and he gave us a very thorough and very deep dive analysis of how he feels we're going to play. But how do you feel Charlotte FC matches up against New England tonight?
Oh, well, ideally we get the win, right? I mean, I think it's there for the taking. I don't know. I know there was some concerns about the weather and all that mess, but come on, Charlotte, man. It's like we played in Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
We were saying that earlier. It's gonna be like 30 degrees at kickoff.
Do you think they're gonna win?
I do. So Swift put money on that they're gonna win 3-0 tonight.
But that's your bet. I went for the straight win though.
Okay, So I did 2 bets, just straight win and then win 3-0.
There we go. 3-0. Who
Yeah.
scores for us?
I think it's going to be Patrick, Abada, and then I think either Westwood or Diani's.
Abada scores on his first.
Because he's going to start. He's starting, right?
Yeah. So he's going to score in his first game, huh?
Yeah.
You think?
Actually, has the
That's
lineup
itself, right?
has the lineup come out yet? 6:30.
I don't think the lineup has officially come out yet. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on it here in just a second. I know it just turned 6:30. So we're gonna wait just a second here because I'm sure Swift is gonna love when that comes up if you got that right.
Lee, what do you think about Abada potentially starting? It's not official yet, but what do you think about him starting?
Yeah, I mean that's why we brought him in to be a starter, right? I mean, the problem or the concern for me is like we may have the quality on the wing, but if he's crushing them in, who's knocking them in, right?
That's true.
It's been rough not getting any goals as much as we could have potentially, right? So if Abada can come in and create that spark or create consistency for us, I think it's gonna be really key.
Yeah, we definitely need somebody to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, right, and just take it away.
If you're the coach, do you play Abada 45 minutes? Do you play him 60 minutes, 90 minutes? What do you think?
Ideally you want to try to at least get 60, 70 minutes out of him, but also just kind of watching how the game's going and all that's good. There's a lot of variables, right? But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him get 70 minutes.
Yeah, I think for me the thought would be jump on them early.
Yeah.
Get up like 2-0 at halftime, and then kind of look and be like, all right, do we really need to risk him for the second half? And then yeah,
that's it. No, I hope the boys do it, man. So we don't know the lineup officially yet, huh?
No, nothing official quite yet, but I'm sure it'll be coming out here any minute now for it. So, but I know we were talking earlier in Swift, and I mean, Lee, as well, probably, but like if, for example, Nathan Burns not be playing, Jalen Lindsay will probably fill into a spot. And then obviously Abada could be starting. How much do you think Jalen coming in to start is going to affect that back line?
I mean, he's got to prove his point now, right? You've got the opportunity, Jalen. Now you need to take it, right? You need to make Dino question that he's writing down every start, right? Right now it's Nathan's to lose, right?
Well, Nathan's playing lights out.
Oh, he's been one of the better players for sure. I mean, I was calling his name last year, but shout out to Privet too, though. I want to prop him, man.
Yeah.
I want to push him, but yeah, no, Jalen, step up, man. It's your chance, right? You've been waiting this season, and here's your chance to sort of show your worth.
So we talked about how shocking Diani's been for us and being as a starter. Was it shocking for you to see Privet be the starter as a center back for us to start the season and then like keep that role and hold on to it?
No, I mean even last year he didn't do anything wrong. Like you never really call his name for good or bad, but that's like the more you watch him, you can see the better he can read the game well. I mean, he snuffed out a lot of shit last week against Cincinnati.
Yeah, and he was asked to do a lot last season,
and he stepped up.
And for a first-year player too.
Yeah.
And big kudos to him for keeping his starting role last year and then keeping it again this season. Because I mean, you got Bill that could come in, you have other options. So
yeah, I think our back four is solid, right? Our back line's solid. I mean, honestly, I think we just need a 10 now.
Look at that table side service that Swift just got there, right?
I had to go up there and do all kinds of stuff, wait in line, wave at people. I don't know what was going on. How do you get that, Swifty? What kind of card do I flash for that?
It's the Matt Swift effect. That's what it is.
I'll literally put it on David's tab.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, all our beers on David's tab.
Oh no, let's not do that.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, Donnie's
Yeah,
saying,
I'm
hey,
David's
anybody else
side,
want to
yeah.
get some? That's good.
Yeah, got some tap, please.
So Lee, anything else you thought you wanted to kind of talk about for this game, and any other predictions or anything you want to bring up?
No, I mean, I've been screaming 3-1. Just a win for me would be ideal. I mean, they're there for the taking. We got to win, man. If we don't beat these guys, it could do bad for our morale.
It could be because, like, I mean, Dean even said last week that the team was, I don't want to say kind of down after drawing that game against Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
But being able to get 3 points from this is going to be really good.
Well, it's different, right? It's different now. Like when they lose before, it's like, oh, we know we could do better. We could do better. Now it's like, damn, we should have won that.
Yeah, if you're ever going to win an away game, this is the one to do it because New England is bottom of the league. They're struggling. They've only scored 4 goals. They just came off a 4-0 loss in CONCACAF Champions Cup. So today's
They're there for the taking, man.
yeah, today's to do it.
All right, man, this is a good setup, man. This is pretty cool, man. If you're not, if you're thinking about coming out, come hang out with us.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching
Get
this,
you a beer.
I'll get you a beer. So if you're watching us live, make sure you do come out to Salud. We're upstairs in Salud, and be able to get a beer, get some nice food, and watch the game here for us. So thanks, Lee. I appreciate you, buddy. See you, buddy. We'll see you at halftime. That's right. So yeah, we got some more folks that want to come up here and talk to us. Yeah, Swift, is that what that we're waving some folks in?
Yeah.
So starting 11 is now officially here. So before we'll filibuster here for a second.
Yeah.
But starting 11, just like Swift kind of shared here. So we've got Abada at right wing, Patrick up top, Kerwin Vargas on the left wing. We've got Breck, Ashley Westwood, and Deani in midfield. And then Jalen Lindsay, Addison Malanda, Andrew Privet, and Euronen on the left back side. So
Let's go.
that's going to be a very, very, I think it's a great lineup, to be honest with you.
I like it. It's aggressive. And like I said, hopefully Abada can do well in this first half and maybe get a goal. And like I said, at halftime, like kind of manage his minutes and see what happens. But
we got a new guest here.
that's right.
What's up?
Joe, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good.
So did you see the starting lineup?
I did see the starting lineup. It's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
I like Patrick up top. He's doing really well, so that's what I was hoping for.
What did you think about Abada coming in, starting this game?
I'm excited. He played really well when he came in last week, so that's who I was hoping. I was hoping he was going to get the start, but yeah, he's exciting.
We just kind of asked Lee the same question, like how many minutes do you think Abada will play or should play?
He played 45 on Monday. I think he can go 60.
I think that's fair. I think, I mean, if especially with now that we're actually getting some people back from injury, some depth, I think you're at least getting some players that can fill in here a little bit. But no, I think that's a great kind of call out there. If you can go 60 minutes, especially second game with Charlotte FC, I think it'd be really good. What do you think about the lineup from a defensive back? What do you think about Jalen starting for us?
I'm excited to see Jalen. Burns been playing really well, so I'm sad that he's not going to start, but I am glad that Jalen gets a start.
So I'm looking at this, and so there's some comments here in the chat. And it says, "Amazing what a difference in a coach can make." It's the same back four we've had playing last season when we led the league in goals allowed for most of the season. How impressed are you as a fan about Dean Smith and really the continuity and the defensive style of play that he's made for Charlotte FC?
No, yeah, we watched the game from last Saturday. We watched it this morning, and just the balls through the channel. Just we're always on the front foot. You can see the link-up play between the players, and it's getting better every week. So it's amazing. It's a completely different team.
That's I think the biggest shocking thing for most Charlotte FC fans is that we had a few pieces come in. We actually had a lot of pieces leave earlier in the season. I know there was a lot of fans that were online kind of complaining about a lot of the pieces leaving and not having anybody come in, but we played competitively. We're right in the middle of the table right now in the East, and we're only 3 to 4 points out of being in the top 3 or 4, depending on how games fall, right? So the fact that Dean Smith came in with basically, I don't want to say a lesser roster, but with the same roster as last year, and just now starting to get some pieces, and I think that's been a big testament to the style of coach that he is and really what he can do as a leader.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I was really worried about. I was not complaining online, but
it's okay. I think there's a lot of people in this room that probably were complaining online at one point, except for Matt Swift. So
I was not. He was not. He was on the positive train from the beginning. Always positive until the middle of the season.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about how good of a job Dean Smith has done. So, just basically taking the same roster as last year with less pieces until just now, right? And be able to keep them competitive in the middle of the table. And now that we're getting these pieces back from injury and getting some DPs, what the sky is the limit potentially for the club.
Yeah, I honestly, people don't want to probably hear this, but like I think the front office has done a really good job of moving folks on.
I think you should say that again. Can you say that one more time for us?
I think the front office has done a really good job of moving pieces on that were tough decisions that maybe were not popular at the time, but you had to make room for who we have now. And I got to say, and plus the Crown Legacy pipeline, it's paying dividends. So not only is the coach taking what he's given, like, you know, the front office was able to hand Dean kind of what he has, but I think our coach is a hell of a coach, and I think we're up for some big things this season.
There's some comments here. So Zoran's cooking is what they said. So that's a nice comment there, Abram. I mean,
that is the buzzword right now is cooking.
He's cooking.
We're waiting for everyone to start cooking.
I was about to throw some slang out there, but I'm not going to do that and embarrass myself and make myself sound any older. So
it is live, so don't.
It is live. I was just say don't screw this up. There's a nice little thing right here that just says basically, David, don't screw it up. So. Well, if this is an inside joke, we'll post that online later on today. So
maybe,
maybe. So
yeah,
go ahead.
Joe, what is your score prediction for tonight?
Score prediction: 2-0. I'm hoping for 3, but I think 2-0. Actually, Lisa and I both agreed on this one tonight. Was 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Thumbs up. All right. That's good. That's good.
Who do you think scores?
I think Abada gets 1.
We've got a big Abada fan in here.
NCC President Becca Mitchum really liked that. So,
and I think Patrick gets 1.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like that.
I'm just making Becca happy. That is
that's
my entire.
Yeah, that's
That's a smart move.
We're all happy.
I was gonna say that's a very smart move. If Becca's happy, we're all happy. So
that's right.
Lisa also would like to get her prediction in. It was 2-0. It was Abada as well, but she thinks Vargas finally gets 1.
Oh. So you and Donnie are on the same page there. Getting off that, it's good. So.
Yeah, I really hope Vargas gets off the mark.
Yeah, he's trying. He's getting a lot of crosses in. He's just needs to keep it down a little bit.
What is going on with the
we just had the fireworks on the show there for a second. I don't know if it's because of the finger point or what, but it was great.
I like it.
That's awesome. So anything else you want to kind of ask us or anything you think about the game tonight?
No, I'm just excited to watch the game. We need an away win. Be great.
It's gonna be great in here. I think if we score early, Salud's gonna be jumping up and down. We got a nice wood floor here downstairs. Gonna hear us really, really well.
If we're up 2-0 at the half, that would be fantastic.
That's kind of my thought. Be up 2-0 at halftime, and then get a third one in the second half.
Yeah, late.
Yeah. Do you guys predict any beer showers here tonight?
I hope not. I don't sit in the supporter section for one reason.
And it's for that.
Oh, it's also the air conditioning. But
yeah. That's a good call out there. So. There's been many games now. I'm driving home 2 hours, and I want to avoid the beer shower as much as possible. So
no, thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Awesome. So Swift. So no beer showers here in Salud. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's okay. So Swift, what else you got for us around New England? What do you think about this game as we head into this? I know we're about 30 minutes out before kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the perfect game for us to really prove that we have improved as a team. We play well at home, and I think we've played relatively well on the road, but this is a game that, if you look at all the games, this is the game that you got to win. The 3 points are there, and if we can get 3 points, that kind of makes up for the 2 points that we dropped against Cincinnati. And I think this will move us up the table quite a bit, too, with all the other matchups that's going on this weekend.
So now that we're actually getting some pieces back from injury, so I'll use like Brant Bronico, for example, as coming back from injury, getting some late minutes last week. We've made some changes in our starting lineup, the starting 11. If you're Dean Smith and it comes that second half and say it's 0-0, still a draw, 60 minutes into it, who are you bringing off the bench to make that spark for the Crown?
Honestly, I think for this one, I want to see offense. This is a team that you need to beat. This is a team that is struggling. It's a team that hasn't been creating a lot of chances. So I think you go for it. I think if it is 0-0 in the second half, you throw on more offense and you go for it. And for me, if we lose that way, I'm okay. At least, we're on the road. You're going for it, especially against a team I think is ripe for the taking.
So just a kind of like, I don't want to say cringy moment, but I don't know if you've seen the new pregame celebration that New England's been doing, but they've been throwing some brown boxes that are very light in nature over their capo stand.
It's so stupid.
As if it's the Boston Tea Party, but on the box is the opposing team's logo. So Corey is just now finding out about this for the first time. So the very first game, Corey, they threw one singular box. They learned from that, and now they throw like 3 or 4. So you're grabbing the mic there, Corey. I don't know if you okay, but yeah, I mean, what do you think from that celebration?
Yeah, it's a super cringy pre-match ritual that we have. It makes absolutely no sense that they take a little fake box and throw it over the rail.
It's like made of like feathers. It bounces when it hits the ground.
It's like get it like a kiddie pool. It makes no sense.
I mean, you're the New England Revolution. Like in Foxborough, you have like Minutemen for the Patriots that are shooting muskets out there, like leaning on that. But you're gonna throw a Amazon box over a capo stand onto the field.
Also, like they've been around this league from the beginning. Like you think they would have plenty enough time to go and find something a little better.
Yeah, you would think so, right? So you would think that would be a little bit of a better celebration, especially an original team for the league that's been around as long as they've been. So do we have any more questions? People that want to come up here and talk. So come on up. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So come on over. Come behind us right here for us. Yeah. You get to see your beautiful smile here on camera here in a second. But welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you guys. Welcome, long-time listener, first-time questionnaire.
Nice.
So we talked a lot about Pat, talked a lot about Enzo playing up top, but I think the biggest impact is honestly, and I know he's not starting today, but Yuri Tavares. I think when he's out there on the wing, he can really drive the ball in, create chances on the outside, dribble it in, and also cross it in. We don't really get that as much from our other wingers. Like, I love Kerwin, but he's honestly like hasn't played a lot of great balls in, hasn't been able to finish this year, unfortunately. So it's like, where do you think Yuri fits in there? Is he more a guy who comes in on like the 60th, 70th minute when Coach Smith's just like, all right, we need a little extra spark? Or like, what kind of vibe do you guys get from him?
Well, I know Swift is a big Tavares fan. I know he was big on him from Crown Legacy. So Swift, what do you think about him? And like, is he a super sub for us right here? And how long do you kind of let Kerwin continue to struggle if that's the case?
I think because Yuri is, younger, he has time to, progress, and he'll have his chances. I think probably one of the reasons why, he didn't start last game and maybe not this game is more on the defensive side. I think that's where he needs to improve. So.
Yeah, and I think it also gives us depth, right? We kind of started him out of necessity over the last beginning of the season, right? Now we are looking at this as we've got Abada coming in. Vargas is technically a U22 designated player, right? Sorry, y'all. He's technically a U22 designated player, right? So they obviously want to get him hot. They want to be able to get him some minutes. But I'm kind of with you, right? If Kerwin kind of continues to have a cold streak here, you got to try something different. And if that means bring him on the bench, get a young player like Tavares come in, that's actually scored this season, I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's okay, right? Like having someone come off the bench like a super sub, I think that could be very impactful for him as a player as he starts to come into his own. And there'll be tons of situations where, just like the Nathan Byrne thing, you never know when someone's going to pick up like a little injury and you step right in. So he chances. But no, I appreciate the question because I am a big Tavares fan for sure.
Me too. Yeah, and it's a lot different setting than last year, right? Where we're basically scrambling and trading for Justin Miram in the middle of the season because we have no depth. We're hoping and praying that Camille would work out. Now we're actually getting depth. We're getting players who have actually been able to play and make a significant impact. I think it's a good problem to have.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, well,
thanks for coming on.
What's your score prediction?
Score prediction? 2-1. We get a late goal. As much as he hasn't been producing a lot, but I think Enzo comes up clutch.
I like it. I like
84th minute. 84th minute.
That's very specific. I love it. Yeah, thanks for the question, man. I appreciate it.
Make sure you put that on FanDuel as well, and you get the payout for when that happens. It'll be good. No, I think it'd be great if Enzo can come in and make an equalizer. I think it'd be huge for confidence, and I think it'll be really big for the team.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Enzo deserves a goal. I think he needs a goal. So I think it'd be good if he does come in the second half to get something.
Awesome. And it's funny. So we actually got some questions here in the chat and comments. So Rob even says does Yuri come in and be able to for Abada late in the game? So he could come in, right? Or even
absolutely.
come in for Vargas, right? I think that gives us a good problem to have.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It gives us some flexibility now too. So we're not just one dimensional. We have options, and that's all good stuff.
It's getting lively in here. People are coming in. It's about to get really good for this game, don't you think?
Yeah,
We got-
there's a lot of folks coming in, mingling, and yeah, it's getting loud for sure.
It's getting loud. It's good. That's a good problem to have, right? I mean, that's great. Turnout's been already great, and it's not even. We're still a good 50 minutes before kickoff, and the turnout's already becoming really good, man.
Oh yeah, we got a chat a lot, don't we?
So I see some other folks that came in. I know our referee extraordinaire, Jeremy Michael, just came in and is here rocking some stuff here. So Jeremy wants to go ask a question. He can. If anybody else wants to ask a question, be sure you come on up and just ask a question if you wish. I don't need to put you on the spot, Jeremy. You're good. I was just calling you out there in person. So
Oh,
no.
I've got a question now.
Okay, go ahead.
And maybe Jeremy can answer it. What did you think about the referee last match? Because I honestly thought he actually did pretty good.
Yeah, I think the referee actually did pretty well for it was the first game back since the lockout, and I think they did a pretty damn good job for the referee and for the style of play. They let things go. They made right calls. I didn't really see anything damning compared to what we've seen for the first month and a half or so of the league, right?
I think so. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Would you say that the front four and the midline is still struggling with getting their footing together with the offloading of Joswiak and Yashiki?
I don't think so. I think our group is kind of in a good groove now. I'm hearing really good things at training. I think the attitude is there's a different like perspective and like thought and like togetherness. And that's we mentioned earlier, you know, some of those big moves that we had to make that I think shocked some fans, right? You know, when you move on Swiderski, you move on Joswiak, Shinishiki, all those guys like kind of had to like reset. So, but I think we've greatly benefited from the group that we have now. I think last year too, bringing in Westwood and bringing in Justin Merrim to have like a professional experience in the locker room.
Completely.
Yeah, and kind of like getting out the more
Youthful.
Yeah, I think that paid dividends.
I do agree with you there, but I still think that the way that they offloaded them hurt the team in both the performance and also the fan support.
Well, and I think, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a hard pill to swallow, but I mean, I could definitely see that because, I mean, think about the first 2 or 3 games. We had guys from Crown Legacy that had to make starts for the first time, right? It would have been great to have a Carroll or an Abada at the first game of the season, right? So I definitely see that from a performance perspective, but I mean, we've been competitive, which has been good too, right?
But I think with Andre and that whole situation, you had to get him out of here.
Yeah.
And you had to. I mean, there's a lot to it, and we could talk for an hour on that. But like, you had to get him out of there. But that hurt us short term, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was a huge player that you just is not even on the team anymore.
Well, you just re-signed him like that off season before,
right?
And you
Right.
extended him to be in Charlotte.
So, but with Joswiak too, I think he was one of the ones that shocked everybody. And then like, all right, you get rid of him. Like, where's the production going to come from? But I do think some of the legacy guys have stepped up and kind of jumped in. But at the time, it was definitely a shock for sure.
Yeah, it was a complete shocker seeing those 3 that were the fan favorites.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Like, you know, a lot of people did like Joswiak, right? And so when you're like, all right, you're out of here,
Just pulled him out. Yeah.
And at the time, we really weren't signing anybody. So everybody's like, all right, we're just getting rid of people. We're not replacing them. Like, you know, what are you doing? And, you know, fans can be very romantic about players too. They have their I have my favorites. So if one of my favorites gets out here, I'm like, hey, what's the front office doing? What the hell? Like, so
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's your score predictions for tonight?
Based on what I'm seeing in the statistics, I think it's going to be a rollover for us.
So what do you think? How do you think the team's going to come out and perform? You think it's going to be a tight match, or you think they're going to be?
It's probably going to be a tight match based on our performance, but I still think based on the statistics that I'm seeing, we'll at least score 2 or 3. But we'll probably at least let how we've been performing, they'll probably score at least one.
Yeah, I know Swift. Every time a Swift hears 3, he's like, yeah, I got another person that believes in me. They'd be able to do that. So who do you think scores for Charlotte if we score?
Depending on how he puts the lineup, if he puts Agumon, Westwood has a good foot when he pays attention to where he's kicking. And then if he puts in a fool will do well.
So potentially Enzo, Pat, and Ashley Westwood. You think?
Enzo, I'm losing faith in.
Okay.
Because he's all about me and not about we, as of late.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, Patrick's going to start. The starting 11 came out, so hopefully he can get off to a good start. And I think I said Westwood too. Him or Deanna would score tonight. So
you got someone else in here that's saying Capetti is going to score. So it'll be interesting to
There
see.
you go.
I mean,
Yeah,
people all over the
definitely.
place. It's good. So
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
I'm hoping Abada scores. I think that'll be a great way to start the game and be a great way for a new DP to start with his first start. Awesome.
thank you so much.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
joining. Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Appreciate it. Spread the word. If anybody else wants to come up and ask some more questions, come on up and let us know. We got some more folks joining over there. You got Jordan Parks, who helped design some of the Mint City Soccer Show outfits, the gears. So I'm sure he's really appreciative, and he's a big Chelsea fan, so he's really happy. Hopefully, he gets 3 more points today, right?
Let's get Becca on here.
So Becca, the president of Mint City Collective, come on up here. Everyone, give a round of applause for Becca Mitchum here for us. What are you doing here? I don't know.
Hello.
Hello, Becca.
How are you?
So the camera's there just in case you want to give it a nice wave.
Hello,
It's
camera.
a nice, cordial, how do you do?
So did you see the starting 11?
I did.
What do you think?
I'm excited. I think it's the strongest we've looked so far. Maybe with the exception, I love Jalen Lindsay, but Burns got the minutes, so I think that's maybe the only quibble. But I think Jalen will do well. He usually, steps up when he's called upon. So
Becca and I sat in the vault last weekend,
Ooh.
and I have a great video of her going bonkers.
I did see a nice video of her like screaming at you there.
It's great. It was great. You're obviously a big fan of Crown Legacy.
yes,
You
for
go
sure.
to all the games.
Yep.
Basically. What have you liked about that pipeline? What has been the impact, you think? Like, tell us how much you love seeing this partnership.
So last season, it was really great to see, especially our super draft players, Diop, Patrick, Privet before he got called into the first team. Get to see them kind of have time to, I don't want to call it a practice, but they got minutes. And that's, I think of some of the guys we had to let go in our first, expansion draft and super draft that we could have, if we had Crown Legacy in place, we could have, used them. And
It helps
really-
them get in the form.
Yes,
right? I mean,
for
that's-
sure.
And
we saw last season, Bender played when he was rehabbing a little, so he could get minutes. Hagart was playing to get minutes. Carujo came back for a game just to kind of make sure he was still in game form.
Kalina, I think.
Kalina was like the first goalie, I think. Like it's a great time to see those players, and then we've seen JP and Tavares, everybody to get called up. Petkovic, like you see the guys that have kind of made a standout in the Crown Legacy season, get called up, and that's exactly the point of Crown Legacy is like. It's that development and seeing how they can fit in. I know that, Crown Legacy, when they're doing drills and stuff, they practice with the first team whenever they can. So it's not like they're being so separated. So they get to interact. And then when they are called up to that first team, it's not as big of a change.
So not to cut you off, Swiss, sorry, but like one of the things that we saw earlier was you mentioned Petrovic, right? So he started last week. He's out of the lineup this game, and from a starting 11 perspective. But what do you think about him and his time in Legacy, and then be able to get his first start last week?
I think no matter where he's been, he kind of just makes an impact as soon as he's on the field. He makes those crosses. He kind of, what I saw a lot in the Legacy team is these younger guys that don't that don't have the hesitation that maybe some of the older players do, right? They're going to go for it. They're going to put themselves in maybe dangerous situations, but they're going to do whatever it takes to get that ball, to get that goal. So you're still seeing that with the younger guys, right? And so like when you have that young of a squad on the field, they're ready to just go for it. And it helps kind of counterbalance the guys that are maybe a little more conservative on the field.
Yeah, for me, the game against Columbus was a big aha moment for me because we had 3 Crown Legacy players starting, and I think we had 6 total in the whole entire squad. And I know we've talked about it a little bit tonight. Like people were kind of freaking out when we were offloading players and we weren't quote unquote signing players, but we actually did. We signed them to Crown Legacy and we moved them up, and that was kind of the whole point. So it's been really, really cool to see, and it's an amazing pipeline that I think it's gonna pay dividends, not just this year, but like every single year.
Well, and I think that's the guy we brought in from Philadelphia. I think Tommy Jones, right? That's what his role is.
Tommy Wilson.
Say again?
Wilson.
Oh, Wilson. Sorry, I said Jones. Sorry. Tommy Wilson came in to be able to kind of help with that, right? Is to help to identify that talent and also make a huge difference for us across the board. So that's awesome. So, I mean, Becca, when's the next time you're going to see Legacy come out and be able to do some drums there for us? You're going to start doing some chants?
The next Legacy home game, I believe, is the 10th. Is that right? That's a Thursday, maybe?
Sounds right.
I think so.
I think so.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Sorry, Becca.
No, it's okay. But yeah, anytime. We usually tailgate about 2 hours before the game starts. We hang out in the lot, just have a great time. A lot of our chants are kind of just off the cuff. Last season, I think our favorite one is we made a Isaac Walker chant to the tune of.
Can you do it for us? I don't mean to put you on the spot. You don't have to.
So it goes to the Whopper theme song for Burger King.
Wow.
So actually.
Ashley, you're being summoned for a second.
I'm getting Ashley to help me because she helps with a lot of the Legacy chants. We're doing the Walker chant. Oh, okay.
The Isaac Walker, the Whopper one.
So
Apparently.
it's been a bit because Isaac's on injury right now, but it goes a little something like this. Walker, Walker, Isaac Walker, he's our keeper. Isaac Walker saves our goals. He's Isaac Walker. He's a champion. Isaac Walker, Walker. He saves our goals. He rules.
That is amazing.
I love it.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, no. So Thomas Hughes, sorry. We like having player chants just
going nonstop.
So some of them are really dumb. Like right now we have 2 Phillips on the Legacy squad. When they're playing together, we've got 2 Phillips on the field. We've got 2 Phillips. Yep.
That's also a good one.
But for Adunzi, because he's been such a standout goalie, like since his signing last season. And Thomas Hughes kind of helped come up with this. So he's 8 foot tall. He's our brick wall. Chituru Adunzi. And you can just yell it. No, there's also a not so friendly version.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're in Salud though. I think you're okay. I'm just joking. Yeah.
But no, it's a really great time. The weather is usually beautiful for those games. It's a lot more intimate. As far as I know, nobody throws their beers at Crown Legacy games.
just shoes. Players throw shoes.
Occasionally a shoe. Okay.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Last game, a player threw a shoe up at us. Yeah.
Nice. Is it because you guys were going whoop?
No, it wasn't because of the
Got it.
Okay. So for tonight,
Tonight,
what's your score prediction?
2-0.
Who scores?
I like it.
Patrick Brace.
Oh, I like it.
good.
I like it.
I think it happened last season too, right? He's always on the precipice of just making massive impact on that field. I think today might be it. He's going to be playing in front of people that might know him a little bit because he's from the Northeast.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So there might be people that can travel to the game a little bit easier. So I think
Be a nice homecoming for him.
right, exactly. That's what I think.
All right.
Ashley, what you got?
All right. So I got 3-0. Yeah.
Another Swift agreement there. It's good.
So I got a Pat brace for the same reason. It's the homecoming game for him. And I've got money on a bottle also scoring. So
Nice.
and money
Nice.
on
I like it.
Archibald, but we don't condone betting, or we do because it's legal.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
really
we
know
bet.
where we stand with that. Yeah.
We bet hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I've
as
got the
a-
money line Abada and Pat.
As a
Oh, and over 7.5 corners. So let's get some money tonight, boys.
as a South Carolinian who can't bet until I
love
cross over the state line,
You can bet now. Yeah.
I did. I
Yeah.
downloaded FanDuel and I put a little bit of money on the line, so that's fine. All I bet was the game line, though. I didn't do any kind of prop bets or anything like that.
Rookie.
So, I know, rookie.
Got to What's up, man? Let's go.
I like it.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Thank you all. Spread the word. If there's more questions, bring them up. So
All right, how much time we got left for the game?
we got about 20 minutes. So we might end this a few minutes before the game kickoff, so that way we can get set up and ready to go for the game. So we got
I want to eat some of that pizza over there.
yeah. So Jason was more than brought us some beautiful deep dish pizza from our Detroit style pizza, and it's been kind of nice from that perspective. So sorry, producer extraordinaire just almost freaked out for a second there. So way to go, Swift. No, but Swift, anything else that's on your mind from the final thoughts before we start heading into the kickoff?
No, I'm really excited about the game. I'm really excited about this season and the players and what we have going on. And I'm looking for big things, not only tonight, but just the rest of the season. And like I said, and we keep saying that we're going to get more reinforcements. So that's really exciting. So,
Hey, we got some more folks that just showed up. I don't mean to put them on the spot, but I see Top Ben over there in the corner. 90 is over there with Lee and the CLTFC fan TV stuff. And
Yeah.
Mike DeVos is here. Mike DeVos is back from Japan.
Mike, come up. You want to come up?
Mike, come on up here. I know you got like 2 hours of sleep, so come on up here and say some crazy things. Welcome to the show, Mike DeVos.
I'm only here for one reason and one reason only. Is to shout out our friends in the back over there.
Who's your friends in the back that you're going to shout out?
The Laundry Project.
What?
Go on.
Oh, the Laundry Project. So talk to us about that. So
I'm not the person to talk about it because I haven't volunteered with them, but they've been a great cooperation about serving those in need in the Charlotte community for being able to wash their clothes. And Min City partners with them from time to time. And just glad that they're here to join us.
absolutely. So if you guys aren't aware, the Laundry Project is here. I'm sure there's going to be some great information for the volunteer. If you guys have anything, just let us know. But yeah, the Laundry Project. So yeah. So sorry, Becca was mouthing what. So, but welcome back from Japan. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but how was that flight back?
I don't know what day it is.
I think it's Saturday, so it'll be fine. So score prediction, Mike, for the tonight.
3-1 Charlotte.
So another 3-goal score for Matt Swift. So who do you think scores for Charlotte tonight? Just quiet air. It's fine.
Well, the initial reaction was Ajamong hat trick.
Okay. There you go. Just run it back. There we go.
Run it back.
Big hat trick.
It's gonna be left foot first, then right foot, then noggin.
Okay. Left foot, right foot, and noggin. I think that's to be a prop bet on some of these sites, right? So that'll be good.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. If that happens, I'm bringing you back on the show every single week. So
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you, buddy.
All right,
Welcome
thank
back.
you.
Glad to see you back here too. So awesome. Thank you, sir. So Corey, we're getting pretty close here to kind of cutoff time before the end of the show. So, and my co-host has disappeared for a second. He
grabbed pizza.
Wow, that's pretty dirty. It's been sitting here right next to me the whole time. I haven't had any. So
yeah.
So give us your initial review.
It's so good.
So good. Yeah, I can't wait to try it. So
You should definitely come out and get some of this.
So just a quick plug again. So for those who are here for the watch party, Salud does have $4 Del Patio lagers. So we've had a few already up here ourselves. So make sure you grab a nice little pint of that before the end of the night. And then Detroit style pizza, special game day. They usually do it, I think, Wednesdays, but they're doing it specifically for the show and for the event tonight here as a watch party. So make sure you get your orders in for that in the game tonight. So Swift, any other closing thoughts? Anything else before we kick off here?
No, let's go get 3 points.
Awesome. So Corey, not to put you on the spot, buddy. I know you're trying to scramble and do producing. What you think the score is going to be tonight?
So I am thinking I'm not going to go quite to the 3-0 that y'all are doing, but I think we win 2-0.
2-0?
2-0.
So who do you think scores?
A Bada goal.
Bada?
I think it's going to happen. And Pat.
Big Pat.
I think
Okay.
Patrick gets one.
Everyone
too.
wants Pat
So
to score.
we just
Yeah.
all want it.
Yeah.
Fargus was my other thought too. Like mostly because what I want, not what I actually think. That's what I feel like needs to happen for this team to keep going. That's where I'm at.
So Swift, just in case you missed it while Mike was up here, he bet that Big Pat's going to get a hat trick. He's going to score with his left foot, his right foot, and then his head. So he said you heard it here first. But
I like it. I like it. Also, I don't know if Mike knows what time it is
Yeah,
or what.
he asked me what day it was, but it's
He
okay.
literally just got off a plane from Japan.
Yeah.
So
Awesome, man. Well, so I'll give my score prediction. I know I can't wait to try it.
this is so good.
My score prediction, I'm going to say 2-1. I think we go into half at a draw. So I think Abada scores first. Then I think New England will score another one. I think Heel will get one from New England. And then I think that Enzo Capetti will come on in the second half as a sub for Big Pat. And we'll get the game winner.
Did you bet on that?
I did not.
Are you going to bet on that?
Probably not. Just so that way it comes to fruition. So if I bet on it, I bet it's not going to happen.
That's fair. All right.
Awesome. Well, for those who don't know, I mean, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this. We are going to do a halftime show. So make sure you tune back into our YouTube channel. For those who are here for the watch party, sorry, not sorry. You'll hear us again at halftime. Getting initial thoughts, getting some feedback from fans live in the moment.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to kick off here.
All right. Let's go do it.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you here in about 45 minutes or so.